been zoning, I've been zoning.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be showing you a full breakdown of the technique that I use when finishing. You all have probably seen some of my finishing videos on my Instagram at nonstop.progress. If you haven't already followed us there, make sure to do so. The point is, if you watch any of my YouTube videos that are finishing based, then you've seen that basically I use a technique that's just a lot different than everyone else. Or at least I think it's a lot different than what everyone else uses, but basically the technique is just a really hard pass as a shot. And with the follow through, you follow through over the ball to make sure it has top spin, so that the top spin will generate a spin away from the goalkeeper, so that the goalkeeper thinks that the ball is going to go to his hands or it's going to go up high, but really it's going to dip and it's going to go below him, and therefore he's not going to be able to save it. So that is kind of the gist of the technique that I use, and let's get on into examples so I can further break this down and help for you to understand it more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw up a whole bunch of examples of how I use my technique, and basically you can see that it's the same throughout. All it is a really hard pass with a follow through over the ball so that it has top spin and then it dips. You can use this technique for pretty much every single kind of shot. The best way to use this technique is to do a back post load driven shot, because the dip makes it to where the goalkeeper thinks it's going to go at his hands, but really it goes right underneath him. He dives and he can't get there. So usually that's how I use this technique, but you could really use it for any type of shot, or in replacement for any type of technique that you would rather use. But honestly, I have just found for me that this is the most reliable technique, and so that's why I use it so much. So now, one thing to keep in mind here is sometimes whenever I'm using this technique, I'm trying to actually curl the ball and get the downward dip at the same time. So sometimes, as you can see in this example, my follow through is actually making my body shift right. And this is because I'm trying to bend the soccer ball away from the goalkeeper while bending it down below the goalkeeper. And it's kind of like I'm bending the ball in two different ways. I'm bending the ball down and I'm bending the ball away from the goalkeeper. So you can see that it has that kind of diagonal spin. I can zoom in right here so you can see it better, but it has that because I'm pairing the downward spin and the side spin together to make it ultimately curl away from the goalkeeper so that he can't save it. Obviously, you can see with so many different world-class players, they always try to manipulate or to kind of trick the goalkeeper into thinking that the ball is going to go right at him, and then it curls away from him, right? So this is the same thing. This is the same exact concept. It's just that you're curling it away from him rather than curling it around him like you would do with a curling shot if you're trying to play it to the back post. Something like that. It's the same thing, but just trying to curl it away from the goalkeeper. Now, in terms of the connection on the ball, you want to use this technique whenever you're actually sprinting or the ball is moving in a forward direction, because if the ball is sitting still, then it's harder to get that top spin because the ball is not already rolling forward. So you have to kind of generate the top spin out of nowhere. Rather than taking a touch forward, the ball's already rolling forward, so that top spin is just so easy to get on the ball, and so the connection is just so much easier, right? And so I've seen so many times whenever I try to use this technique and I don't have the ball rolling, that I end up skying the ball because I get up underneath it. So you want to really make sure that the ball is rolling whenever you use this. And now here's an example of me actually trying to go for the upper 90, and you can see that the ball looks like it's going to go way over the goal and then actually dips at the last moment and it gets into the top triangle, the top upper 90. And so this is a way to really trick the goalkeeper and make him think that it's going to go over the crossbar, but bend it down under the crossbar to where obviously you score. So this is a great technique for those kind of shots as well. The last point I want to make here is that you want a technique whenever you're shooting to be consistent and to be reliable, right? So look at it like this. If you strike the ball with your laces, then it is more unreliable than if you were to strike the ball with the inside of your foot, because you pass with the inside of your foot because it's consistent, right? It's the biggest surface on your foot. So this is the reason that this technique is so consistent and so reliable, and it's used by so many professional players, is because it is ultimately using the biggest surface on your foot. So therefore, even if you misconnect with the ball, then the ball is still probably going to go in the general area that you wanted to put it, right? If you miss and you misconnect with the ball, if you're using the laces technique, then the ball can pretty much go anywhere. Before I close out this video, I just want to say that a lot of people have been asking me about where I get the headphones that I use during my trainings. A lot of people have been asking me about some of the gear that I wear, some of the cleats that I wear, and a lot of people have been asking me about all the supplements that I consume on a daily basis. If you want to check out any of those supplements, the gear, or the headphones, or any of it, it's all linked in the description of this video. So definitely check out those links, because that is all the stuff that I use on a daily basis. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And if you enjoy content like this, I post daily on @nonstop.progress on Instagram. All right, guys, peace.